Hello, hello, hello. This is Rex Red, and I am back. And I am working on another exciting project here. I'm going to take my 1080 Ti and turn the fan down a little bit on it. Okay. Now what I've got here is well, I'll show you here. I got a plane in front of him, but what it is a guy who's got a texture on his skin that makes him, you can see through his skin. So he's like this, and I think I actually have to make his mouth, the inner part of his mouth, disappear, but I haven't gotten to that yet. If I go straight on, you can't really see that he's got like this big huge tongue and all that apparatus inside. You can see it here. Well, from the other side better. You see he's got this whole tongue apparatus here. And he's got an eye apparatus, but from the front you can't really tell. Now what I'm trying to do is take this plane here and make a piece of clothing from it. It's just an experiment, so I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. So I'm just kind of testing to see if it will. The first thing I'm going to do is go into my tool settings, translate, geometry editor, not geometry editor, mesh grabber. And I'm going to just give this a little bit of some help, okay? And if I grab this right about here, see what happens when nope, that's not what we want. Edit. I want it like about this. Let's see what this does. And then let's take this, bring this in like that. Take this side in, bring that in like that. All right. What did that just do? Okay, that just took that. Now, grab this, bring that in maybe like this. Grab this, bring that in maybe like that. And, all right, I'm going to try this. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to here. And I'm going to turn it. I'm going to rotate it. Is it Z? No. It's X. X. Rotate. This way. I'm going to rotate it so that the top part of it, this is so difficult to see right here. Now when I rotate it, Z kind of rotates it this way. When I bring it back in, this brings it ahead. Okay, I can't really see what I'm doing here at all. The only way I can see this is in Iray mode. The only way it will let me see this. Okay, I'm going to turn off the ground. It should make it a little easier for me to kind of manipulate this. I'll have to turn it back on again. At some point, we're going to look at this from the right. Okay. Bring that up. Now I need the top parts to connect with his body. This is so weird. Okay, scale it in X this way. All right. That's kind of working. And then we're going to bring it this way. All right. Then we're going to twist it again like that. Bring it back out a little bit. Bring it over. We're going to twist it Z. X. This way. Z. X like this. No, not like that. Okay, we're gonna go now this way. All right, I think I'm gonna bring it back out Z a little bit. Let's Z rotate. And we're gonna bring it out Z translate. X translate. Okay, it has to actually contact. Okay, looks like it's sort of contacting. Let's look at this from the top. Okay, I think this could come up more. Up more. Rotate it Y. More this way. A little bit more that way. Okay. Let's take a look at this now. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to try to move this a little bit with my mesh grabber. All right, tools, mesh grabber. Now we're going to go down to like 5. What's up, mesh grabber? That's not what I expected. Oh, were we on the plane? Wow, gain. All right, that's okay, 5. What in the heck? Why is that way out there? All right. This couldn't be any more difficult. Okay. Eight. A little bigger. What in the crap? What have I got a hold of here? Okay, that's got to go in there. Oh, I think that is a shadow of his head on there. Okay, so we're just going to make sure it's going through a little bit. All right. Just want to make sure it's going in there now. This is going to be 2. Enter. Bring that down, this down. Bring that up. Okay, I just want that little piece connecting in there. Okay, I guess that's enough. Think I can mess with this later. I don't know why my squares are suddenly so big when I made them really tiny in this. Okay, I'm going to leave those like that. I can mess with that later. So now what we're going to do is give this some dForce. Edit. I'm going to save this because I might need to make it longer. Edit. Object. Geometry. dForce. Okay, we have some dForce on there. Now we're going to go to dForce. And of course, it's not showing me that the dForce. This is what this Man Friday thing was supposed to do. It's like show us even, you know, other kinds of dForce stuff. It's not showing up here, Man Friday. I just put dForce on this plane and it's not here. And so that kind of negates the whole purpose of owning this. That's what I bought it for, was because it was, and it's like, I don't need these extra settings here when I can just click on this here and they're right here. So if it's not going to show up the dForce stuff, what the heck is good is it? All right, so we're going to try to simulate this and see if this, that didn't work. It just fell. It didn't, I was expecting it to stick to his, to pin there. Edit, undo. All right, clear. Why didn't that pin there? Let's bring it down some. Maybe it's just not contacting enough. Y translate. Let's try that. Simulate. Well, that's kind of grabbing there. That's horrific. Absolutely horrific. You know, I bought these other things that were supposed to be just like the, okay, clear that. Edit, undo. Right, maybe it's got to be out of mesh grabber mode. Simulate. No, that's pretty terrible. Yeah, it's just not. All right, now edit, undo, clear this. Let's put the ground back on. Maybe if it has something to land on. I'm not feeling this right now. All right. I'm going to try something that I kind of know works, sort of. This duvet. D-U-V-E-T. Beautiful lake. That can go. All right, now, duvet. It's probably something I'm not done right, but I did add dForce to it, and I did kind of expect it to show up in the companion, and it didn't. So, and it's not the first thing that has had dForce on it that hasn't shown up in that companion. And that's why I bought it, because when it said it, at least I thought when it when in the advertisement that, oh, well, it even shows up other kinds of objects, and no, it doesn't. It's not showing up for objects, not that I can see. Smart pack. And these things that I bought for the Genesis 3 mail, shiny sheets, props. I thought they kind of fit around the mail. It's just, no, they're just like things that you have to kind of somehow, I guess, fit around them. I thought they were actually like clothing, you know? This is very disappointing on that, because it's like, what the heck am I going to do with this stuff? It's not dForce. It's just completely, what the crap am I going to do with that? So, it's really nice. It's pretty, but it's just not, it's not on him. It didn't say, auto fit, you know, kind of thing. That's what I was expecting it to do. All right, let's see now. Let's scale this down. It's obviously too big. Scale it. Y rotate. X, Y translate. X translate. All right, X, what is it? X scale. Z translate. You know, and I'm pretty good with this stuff, but gosh, this is like something that takes you like hours to get to fit on somebody when it's not made to actually fit on them. And this has all got to be done in Iray, because the guy just totally disappears in any other view. All right, let's see. Y translate. Okay. X scale again. Now from a distance, it almost looks like it just kind of already fits him. X translate. Y scale. Okay, we got to Y scale this again. I want to scale it a little more up this way. All right. Now, let's see what we can do with Mesh Grabber. Tool settings. Translate Mesh Grabber here. Take this thing. Push that back until it contacts him. What am I doing? Gone too far. You can't see him. All right. That kind of works. All right, let's go back here. X translate this way. Everything's always opposite of what I think it's supposed to be. It's, I guess because I'm looking at it from the back. I think I'm tired. X scale. X translate. All right. Now let's go back to Mesh Grabber. Okay. Let's bring it back some more. I think I can pull this front in. Okay, let's bring this down to 10. I don't think I'm supposed to do this while that's... Oops, I got a hold of his body. Let's get our sheet again. Let's pull this out first. I hate the way this is bending. It's like I've got to get the very, 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 very tip to get this thing to move the right way. Still not quite moving the right way. It's not moving the right way either. Okay. Got a hold of his body again. sheet. When you've got to rotate something, it's like always the rotation things are always in the wrong place. Okay. What in the crap? I've got a hold of his body again. I've got to undo a few of these. See, I've pulled these out, and those I won't be able to fix unless I undo them. I had that darn other one selected. Don't know how many I've got to pull out to fix that. All right, let's try this again. Six. I've got a hold of him again. No wonder why it's not working. All right. What the crap? All right. I'm sorry. I'm just having one hellacious time with this tonight. Nothing seems to be working right. I have my days. What can I say? See, that's not moving right. This looks like crap. Let's go back here to the camera view. It's sort of working. Where's his hair? Okay. Now let's go to the sheet thing here. Materials. White. That's not very white. Sometimes it's impossible to get things white in a scene because everything else in the scene, like the sky, is already casting this massive non-white kind of thing. So it's just safer to pick something else that's, don't expect to get white, put it that way. All right, I think that color is kind of cool. Now I'm gonna translate this over a little this way. Move over and then move back. Why not? Okay, and now I think we've got it going back through his chest again. Yep. All right, let's go back to our mesh grabber again. That's too much. All right, it's just the edge here. All right, that's not going through anymore, at least. It's hard to tell. You look at it and it's hard to tell if it's actually coming through or not. Okay, I'm going to have to do something with this. That just fixed that, kind of. All right, we'll have to tip those pieces back into there. Let's go to 5. What am I doing here? All right, let's see what we can do with these little tips up here. Can I do something with them? I'm going to go to 4. That looks like it kind of connects now. I'm not sure. It's too hard to tell, but it looks okay. This one's got some problems. 2. Know what I'm doing here. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Try to pull it back. Try to pull it back some more. Sheet. Okay, somehow it's connected there. Let's get out of this mode here. Back to our perspective camera mode. Save this. All right, let's see what happens when we take our camera and edit. Well, let's take our camera and edit, object, unlock the camera. What happens when I spin him a little bit, move him? That looks horrible. Absolutely horrible. Okay, we're going to take this sheet. We're going to do something different with it. We're going to make it into metal. Shaders. We're looking for some kind of metal like he's made of. Well, let's try this. Oh, I've got to click on the surface. That kind of defeats the purpose. All right, let's see what happens when we make this pattern smaller. Plastic look. That looks horrible. Wire. Let's try a different metal thing. I've got more metals. Metal patterns. I think somewhere here. Industrial steel. Okay. What if, okay, I'm going to take this sheet. It took me a while to get that thing together, but we're going to put a toga on him and see if that works. Toga. Toga. What's this for? The freak for? I don't know if that will fit him, if it will work on him. Which one is the actual thing? Wool, primitive. Okay, I think this is the primitive. Don't think it's going to work on him. Natural brown, green, freak toga. No, it didn't even try. Nope, it didn't even try. Try to auto fit. Just went in the scene and I ain't fitting that thing on him. No, that's not going to happen. All right, let's try this. For Michael 4, that toga doesn't work. Outfit toga textures. Wardrobe. All right, shawl. Let's try just a shawl on him. Of course, it doesn't really cover the spots I need it covered. Hello, George! Yes, we are trying to fit some clothes on this guy, and let's see. All right, we got a tunic, but what we're going to do now is we're going to take this tunic, kind of stuck with it. Let's go to our dForce control here, and let's simulate this tunic so it will actually hang on him. This is cloth simulation. All right, now let's go back to our all right, to tunic. Okay, we have the sleeves, the belt, and the tunic. Let's click on the tunic. Go back to smart content, to shaders. Get rid of the toga word. Let's go back to our shaders here. Metal shaders. Where are you? Here they are. There we go. Well, we got sleeves now that are editor. Sleeves. Okay. And there we go. Something's starting to look right here. Now, how about the belt? Let's make the belt metal too. All right. I'm wondering if he should have real eyes. Let's try giving him some eyes, some real eyes instead of metal eyes. See what happens. Materials. Let's save this just in case I totally mess this up. Oh, he looks better with eyes. Definitely better with eyes. But they kind of come through his mesh a little bit. And I think he should probably have eyebrows, so let's give him something to give his eyes some a little bit of Michael. These are 8.1 eyes, 8.1 eyebrows. Pablo 8.1. I don't think he has. Does he have eyebrows? Which this is Pablo. All files. All right. Pablo here. Anatomy. Eyebrows. Let's see what happens when we give him these. They're not too bad. They kind of accentuate his face a little bit. But I think I'm going to go with making those eyebrows a little bit. Let's go. I'll get the eyebrows here and go with some kind of blondish color. Brown is going to have to. Eyelashes. Let's give him some eyelashes. I think I did everything got kind of I think if I give him eyes. Save this. The Mesh Man. Okay, we'll go up like this. We'll tilt his head down. Texture shaded. Now let's go back to this. All right. Now I have to zoom in on his eyes. I'm going to save the... He's not quite in the center. Not sure if I like that pose. I think I'm gonna bend his arm down a little. Well, that didn't work. Shoulder, front, back. What in the heck? It's so hard to see what his arm is doing because you see both sides of it. I have to turn his hair off. His hair makes him like impossible to manipulate. All right, where's his hair? Okay, this sheet can go. We're gonna keep this closed instead. Fender hair, turn that off. Now we should be able to manipulate him. And there we go. Now let's see what he looks like. Did I just ruin everything? No, that looks okay. Let's do another dForce on his clothes. Simulate. All right. Save. Now, Fender hair. That's his hair back. Mesh Man is going to be his name. Yeah. Mesh Man. Do I have two cameras in my scene? Default camera. Okay, that's got to go. Save. There's his pose. That's where we're going to bring it out a little bit. All right. Save this. Now we're going to mess with our sky a little bit. I'm going to try some different skies. Okay, so I'm going to save my camera here. I don't think I'm going to have him looking at the edit. Okay, smart. Now he's got some beard stuff that we could mess with. Hair. Let's try the beard on Pablo, just see if it gives him some kind of ruddier look. It does, but we got to turn the materials brown. Not sure if I like that beard. I think I'm going to give him a goatee instead, like. Let's go to hair. And let's go to this beard boss. I have been having a lot of luck with the beard boss. Well, this guy's new. Let's try his beard. just try it for the heck of it. I don't think he's going to give me a bunch of colors to go with it. Materials. Let's try the brown. Try the blonde. That's kind of cool. Did I lock my camera? Yeah. No, I didn't. Okay, let's save this. Now let's lock the camera. Edit, object, lock. Mesh man, huh? Now let's mess with the sky. No, that beard isn't doing it either. All right. It's either going to be, we're going to try something else now with him. Where's Beard Boss? Hair. Beard Boss. Okay, I have one down here that works out well. Not sure why these aren't here. All right, they're supposed to be loading. All right, where is Beard? Here it is, this guy. Let's do something cool here with him. Select Pablo again. And how about this thing? Don't know if I'm going to want the mutton chops. How's your cold doing, George? The mutton chops can go. And we can, now that we have these other eyebrows, we can get rid of the eyebrows, Pablo brows. Okay. And now we can soul patch, handlebar, and brows. Let's see, materials. Oh, this is kind of difficult now. Let's say eyebrows, light brown. Did this work? Doesn't quite look right. Let's see, how about brown? Blonde. There we go. There he is. Mesh man. Okay. And So now let's mess with the sky. Render settings. Wow. I think we found it like the first try. But we got to turn this sky a little bit. But this looks like his sky. This is his place. This is going to be a while to render with all this detail. It's got to fit. The computer's got to compute. Save this. I like this sky. This is the sky. We're gonna go here to parameters, to environment. We're gonna rotate it a little bit and see if we can get a moon or sun or something into it. There's a moon. Let's take this to our filament mode. Come on. Come on. This is for a contest? Oh, your cold seems to be gone. You know, that's really weird. There's this cold going around. My my friend, very nice woman that I know. I showed up at her house, and like the next day she says, "Oh, I got a cold," and I felt like she was kind of saying, "Yeah, thanks a lot for giving me the cold." But then I said, "Well, I haven't had any symptoms at all for a cold, like zero, and so I don't think I could have given you the cold." And every time I talk with her, she sounds fine, but then she says, "Oh, now I it's back, and it's comes and goes, and oh, there it is. There's our scene right there. It's just perfect right there. That's our scene." So, yeah. Mesh Man, huh? All right, save this. And let's start looking at our render settings. This was not an easy. I've been working on this thing for about 5 hours. Yeah, and everything I tried didn't work. First I had at first he was Polka Dot Man, and then he was Crocodile Man, and oh gosh, and I had him in forests. I had him halfway submerged in water. I had this pose, that pose, all kinds of stuff. And finally, we've got Mesh Man. I'm wondering if I should make his this a different color. I mean, just make it like distinguish it from his flesh, his body color. His toga could be kind of like blackish instead. Let's see. Surfaces, toga, base color. Let's go and glossy color. Black. Color. There. Red. I think I like that a little better. Toga. Edit. Okay. Toga tunic. Let's try brown. 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 Let's try the black again and see just maybe the black underneath with the brown. Red. And this red. Yeah, I like that that brighter red. What if we go with an orange? Yeah, the orange looks like it fits in the scene better. Okay. And so now let's go with our render settings. Well, okay, I'm getting despondent here. General, off, parameter settings, use limits, turn that off. And then let's go to our, there. Let's go to our here, maximum samples, maximum time. Save this. Now let's do render quality 7. I'm wondering if I can find eyes that just play around with some eyes, different eyes for him, eye colors and stuff. Maybe I can get something really, maybe something a little more kind of demonic that's a little too dark. I think, you know, like glowing eyes or something, you know. Materials, eyes, let's see, eyes. Eyes. Let's go alternate minus. Eyes. All files. Here we go. Fantasy eyes. Here we go. Now Pablo. Wonder if I have to hit this base first. Yeah, now you can play with some of these eyes. Yeah, see that, what that did to his eyes? It just made them totally. Let's take a look at his, oh, look at this guy. Look at this. He looks so cool. This is a nice angle for him too. Wow. Mesh man. Look at this with the moon, the sun, planet there. Okay, now we're going to move the moon over. Parameters. All right, come on. Show me this darn sky filament mode. You used to do it, now you don't. Some skies you just don't show. Cartoon shaded maybe. No. Smooth shaded. None of these are going to show me the sky except Iray. All right. We just got to fiddle with it. Okay, magic. We got to have some magic coming out of his hands. Props. Where did that go? Ground base? Is that it? No. Edit. All right, let's try this again. That's not the right kind of magic I want. No, that totally changed his pose. Edit. Undo. Don't want you to change his pose. Props. Blast. Let's see what we got here. Blast. Texture shaded. I hope this blast does. Let me see. Okay. X translate. Y translate. Let's see what this looks like when we put some kind of. All right, let's go back to texture. When we put an actual material on it. This is the blast. Oh, look at that. Wondering if my yeah, that's better with the planet there. Okay, let's mess with this blast a little more. This one. Edit. I need the blast, not the whole thing. Okay, let's try this. Oh, there it is. There's our blast. Okay, and his hand. Texture shaded. Gotta bend hand. Bend. We gotta turn his hair off again. I can't move anything with his hair on. Where's his hair? Fender hair. Okay, now let's go back to his hand. Okay, I'm going to lock my camera here. Edit, object, lock. All right, now I can take my perspective mode here. We can go in on this hand here. I can't see what I'm doing here. Let's go to cartoon. I still really can't tell what the hell is here. Okay, maybe now I can. And that. And that. Okay. I just messed something up. No, maybe not. All right. Bring the thumb out too. Thumb, bend. Let's check it out from the camera now. What? Oh, I didn't move the camera. I was using the perspective mode. All right, so I've got to reset my camera. All right, so let's do that then. Unlock the camera. Edit. Object. Unlock. It was this right here. Okay. Texture shaded. Let's bend that wrist up a little bit. What's this? I can't tell what I'm doing here. I cannot tell at all what I'm doing. There it is. Give him back his hair. Save this. I think that's our image right there. I do believe that is our image. Now my camera's locked, right? No, it's not. Edit, undo. All right, let's lock this damn camera. Edit, object, lock. All right, now I want to see this from the top. Top view. I want to see where. This is just what I kind of thought. Perspective. Yes, something's really wrong here. See how that's like not even connected to him? It's not correct. So we got to fix that. All right, so and it's going to have to be Z. Where is that? Blast. X. X. From the top. Z. Supposed to actually come out of his hand. Okay, now let's go back to our camera view. Now we can scale that down if we have to. Yeah, see, you might think, oh, well, you know, what difference did that make? But it's it's about perception, okay? Because if it's not really there, your maybe your conscious mind doesn't know it, but your unconscious mind could, and that's why I find that it's important to fix things like that. Perspective view. Now let's take a look at this from the top. And you see there's still a problem here. Because his hand, okay. I don't think I'm going to mess with his hand. I think I'm going to mess instead with, that did just kind of bring his hand in a little bit. Let's see what it looks like from the camera. See, that's not what I want. Edit. Undo bend. See, it's just going at the wrong angle. It looks right, but it's not. Perspective view. Let's get a hold of this again. And now we're going to rotate this from the top. Just going to turn this in like this. Okay, we're going to rotate it again. I hope this doesn't actually ruin the illusion. Because, I mean, getting it right could make it look wrong. That theoretically, that could happen. I don't think it could, because this is a really beautiful piece of art here, this magic. Now let's see what it looks like from our camera view. See, it doesn't ruin it. It does look like it's coming from his hand still. Save this. We're going to save this as Mesh Man now. Save as. It's going to be Mesh Man. All right. That's it. I think we're ready to do a render with him. Okay. I think his Neck could be bent a little bit back. So he's looking ahead. Right. Save this. Okay, there's our mesh man. So I'm going to start a render. Shaping. Wondering about how I can shape this thing. Blast wide. And we can widen that. I'm not sure if I like that though. It kind of digitized it. Let's just set it back to its normal size. That could go a little bit, but just not that much. All right, mesh man. Okay, I think we're going to start a render. We're going to try a render. Let's give it a try. See what we get. Yeah, the legs disappear when he goes into a when I go into other modes, parts of him disappear. They because you're seeing the back and the front, the geometry, it's like it doesn't show right. And that's why this has been an extraordinarily difficult piece, because I've had to do every bit of it in Iray. It's like that's the only view that really shows me what's going on. So that has been a problem. So let's go back here and see what we've got. Mesh man. Look at this. Look at those eyes. Wow, look at this. This is really cool. You can see his hair through the mesh. This kind of works. That's cool. Now let's see how his hand, wow. This isn't the most incredibly detailed fire. This is going to all, this is all going to rectify here. You can see little dots and stuff. Those will go away. This isn't the highest quality fire here, but it's not that bad. It's really beautiful. But it's perfect for what I want. I just wish it looked a little bit more up close like this. I wish it looked a little better, but I think I need to give it time to render more, because all it is a volumetric type of object, and these are going to take a little while to rectify. I think they'll sharpen up. This would be the last thing to rectify. You know that word, I use that a lot, rectify. It's not a 3D word. It's not something, it's my word that I like to use. And what I mean by rectify is to get rid of the dots, these tiny little dots. They go away. You can see tiny little dots here. They're all going to go away. Well, look at this. This is almost done rendering. Well, so it says, but I don't think that's the case. But I think it's going to get, it looks like it's almost done, but it's, I think once it gets up here, it'll start going really, really slow. It may have, I put it up to 7 for, I believe I did that right, yeah. So this is Mesh Man. Look at that. Look at the detail in this. This is pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. That is pretty cool. And this is the ground he's standing on. Even that is made of a metal mesh. This will take a while to rectify too. You can see that in these little circles, there's a ton of little dots that haven't, that aren't clarified. I think it's going to stay, it's going to slow down, and finally when it gets like up about here, it's going to start going really, really, really slow. I'm not certain about that. Yeah, I'm quite certain that's what'll happen. So I want to see his feet on the ground. How his feet look on the ground. It's going to be 1 foot here. It looks fine. It's a big, gigantic, crunchy mess. But it doesn't look like his foot's going right through the floor. And this is another one. This one, it doesn't look like he's completely standing on the floor. There's a little space here, but he could be taking a step. And this does look like it's contacting, so he's kind of on his tiptoes. That works for me. It doesn't have to be on the, and it could theoretically be there, but you just can't see it. So it's enough for me. I usually like it a little closer, but I am telling you, I'm not going to stop it just to fix his foot, because it's, to me, that's perfect. So yeah. And this is laying right beautifully across his leg, his arms. I don't see any poke through. This is perfect. And his face. Look at his face. Look how that beard is growing out of his mesh. And he's got those really cool, funkadelic eyes. Yeah, this is really, really, really nice. This came out better than I thought it was gonna. We're up to 49. This is going really, really fast, and I don't like the fact that it's going so fast. It shouldn't be rendering that fast. I don't know. This is a new version of Daz Studio, and maybe they've done something to speed up renders like incredibly fast. So we'll see, because I know what's got to rectify. All these little dots have got to rectify, and they're still looking fuzzy to me. So we'll see. This looks like it's kind of clarified here. There was a bunch of stuff in here that I didn't like. There's still a little edginess here. Some spots here, little dots. But I'd like to see these this rectify more around the edges. The yellow's okay, but around the edges this looks really speckly. And it may not fix. Maybe that's the way it's going to look. So it might be part of the effect. I'm not that smart when it comes to making models like this. I don't know what it requires, but maybe that's what it needs to get an ember. I don't think so. I think these could all smoothen out. And I have a feeling that this will slow down. I think it's going to get to maybe 70 and then start going slower and slower and slower. We shall see, but it's going awfully fast. This usually doesn't go that fast. So I am very pleased with this. Now, what's our sun look like? Is it looking all pixelated, or does it look nice? How's this hand look? That's his fist. That looks pretty cool, all crunched up like that. Wow. Wow. This guy couldn't have come out. Now that sun looks really nice too. It looks kind of blurry, but it looks good. It still looks good. There's a little bit of something here that's not too good, but it's not bad. From a distance you won't see that. This right here is a little worrisome, but it's not bad. This is beautiful textures here. Really nice and sharp textures. The rocks don't look so pretty, but from a distance they do. I could probably render it and throw put a depth of field and then have the background blur a little more, but I don't think it needs that. How about our little moon? How does that look? We've got a little moon up here somewhere. There's our little moon. That's got a little bit of distortion there too. This is beautiful. A little bit of distortion going around here. It's okay. I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, I mean, you look at this, the focus here, and then you look at how detailed each little hair is here, and how detailed this metal is, and it's just the detail in his eyes. It's like night and day compared to this detail. But this is very, 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 very far away. So, and it's a gigantic, like at least 8K, probably at least 8K image. I may have this image larger if I look. I may have like a 16K version of it. That may be the 8K version. I'm not sure. I should look again at some point, but I'm going to let this render. We're at 64 now. I think it's slowing down because it took only a few minutes to get up to like 30. So it is slowing down. This guy is cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now his hand, there's only a few spots that I see some dots. Dots here. Look how beautiful that texture ran along his hands. That's just, there's some kind of force at work here. The way these textures just flow right into this, into his hand. It's all one big gigantic piece. It's magic. It's the magic that has been put into these figures. And if you notice, like his chest, look how big the links are, but they get smaller and smaller and smaller until they get into his face. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that geometry is. Look how small they get here. This is really, really, really nice. Nice geometry here. This is what's so beautiful about this program and these figures, is that when you lay these textures on them, different parts of their body, like his chest has the largest links on his chest. They're the largest. Right in here, they're huge. Huge links. But it doesn't take long, and all of a sudden, boom, from there to here, look what happens. It just, the texture becomes really, really small. That's beautiful. And you can see there is a seam here where it goes from the large into the small. That's because this is a Genesis 8.1 figure. And the neck, I believe, has more geometry in it. So it's very, 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 very nice. Look at that the belt. That came out nice too. It's also a mesh made from that mesh texture. It has its own geometry within it. That worked out well. Every bit of this. There's some, looks like a seam here. I'm not sure. This kind of looks like a seam, but it goes up through here. But I'm not certain about that. But it's a seamless seam. This looks like a seam here. They're a seamless seam. It's just, it's beautifully integrated through here. So, and now this is rectifying also here. Where are we? Yeah, we've been at 65 for a long time. This isn't going to budge much more from this for hours and hours and hours. It's going to stay at like 65. Maybe it'll go to 66 in an hour. Yeah, and we're at 226 iterations. I'd like to get to 1,000 before I stop this. So I want this to rectify as much as possible. This is the part right here, and this here, because this really needs these little specks and stuff. They need to be smaller, so that this looks really, really defined. The thing he's standing on, I want it to look like mesh. I could have made these little dots bigger. And this is the thing. These are almost acceptable, but you can still see a bunch of speckles, little teeny fine speckles, and I'd like them to go away. So you can see a bunch of them in here. Thank you, George. That's very nice for you to say that it looks good. Thank you very, very, very much. So yes, that is it. This is that's gonna do it for me. We've got Mesh Man. He is now a living, breathing character in the world. Mesh Man. In some way, I used to have a mesh fetish. I don't know if it's right to call it a fetish, but I used to love to wear mesh. There was a fad way back when everything was made of mesh and everybody wore mesh. It was like, and I had a bunch. I still have them. I still have mesh clothes, but I don't wear them as often. So, yeah, I was a mesh guy, mesh man for a while. And so, yeah, this is Mesh Man. And I am really pleased with the way this came out. Yeah, this isn't the render, you know, this is got a lot of ways to go compared to this, which is gigantic compared to that. And look how much that has rectified. So, especially in his face. This part right here, this is really complicated in here because it's got his hair coming through the mesh. You can see it in the back. And it doesn't look like, it looks like it's all done kind of rendering, but there's something about it that's really not, because it's so complicated that the computer's got a lot of intersection to deal with right here. And so I think that is going to take a while to render. This is so strange how that beard and the eyebrows, how they worked on that mesh, that they actually worked with it. And the hair. I'm really surprised at how cool this hair looks coming out of that mesh. Because I thought he was going to have to be bald and no facial hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. I believe he actually does have eyelashes too. Yeah, if you look here, there are some black eyelashes. He's got eyelashes. Yeah, and that just even adds to the realism. I could have given him blind eyelashes. It may have actually given a little bit more of an oomph to his looks, but the black work. Look at those eyes. They're just really, 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 really cool. Cool eyes. Very awesome. Awesome, awesome. Look how this geometry here goes from his chin down, because you need you need a lot of geometry to be able to manipulate his chin and make it into like a double chin or a cleft chin. All of that, you need to have really fine geometry down in here to be able to, and this in here for jowls. This is much finer than it looks. It's because the mesh, but this mesh is sitting on a much finer geometry. It's much more digitized than what we're seeing. But it's smaller because the geometry underneath it is smaller, and I believe it's much more and it's surprising that his nose doesn't have a lot of geometry in it, and neither do his lips. It's mostly in here, and and his neck, that the geometry is, and it kind of you lose some of it. It gets a bunch of geometry, but in this area it looks like a little bigger too, just a little bit in the forehead. So this is amazing. There's obviously some kind of seam that comes along here, because it goes from really fine to just really bigger, and then it goes from this bigger to like gigantic here. So and you can see the seam of his shoulders where his shirt doesn't quite come up high enough to cover where it goes, but that's okay. You can see it from a distance, but it doesn't look bad. It's not a deal breaker. Nothing in the scene really is a deal breaker. I think it's all, and what would have been a deal breaker, because his eye and his mouth cavity goes deep into his tongue and throat. He's got a big tongue inside. All that stuff's inside here, and he's got a gigantic ocular nerve in here, And luckily you can't see this big gigantic like object through the mesh. And the same thing here. There's a gigantic object inside of here and you can't see it, and that would have been a deal breaker too. You can see a little bit of it, of something there, but it's not distinguishable. Yeah, you can't see the eye. It's there. It's a big eye, like. So, but you can't see it, which is really nice. All right, we've got a little fold here in the metal. That's nice. Where his cloth, gives it a little bit of realism. That's from the dForce. And his shirt's hanging down. Let's see how it's hanging on this arm. It looks good. It's contact. There's the seam. There's the edge of the seam. Looks really good. The fist, that fist looks amazing. We got a little bit of sharpness here. I was either going to call him that or can opener man, but I figured mesh man was a little bit than the human can opener. Mark Twain, the mustache does that. Yeah, well, I kind of have a thing for mustaches and all. He does look like Mark Twain. Yeah, he really does. Or Colonel Sanders. He can fry some chicken. It's like, yeah, poof, and it's done. Yeah. So yeah, he's the Colonel. That's funny, George. All right, well, that's going to do it for me. It's 10:26 right now. So thank you for coming and watching, George, and whoever else is here. Thanks for watching. This is our scene right here, Mesh Man, also known as the Can Opener Man. So, yeah, he's made of metal mesh. And so, very highly detailed model. And and we are rendering, this is at 69. Like I said, it's now up to 382 iterations. And like I said, I'd like it to go to 1,000 before I stop it. And that's probably what I'm going to do, is let this go to 1,000. And kudos to Daz. I haven't had one issue with the new Daz Studio version of Daz Studio. It's very, very nice. And I love the way, because I scroll. When I scroll, I use my mouse wheel to scroll here, and I put my mouse there and scroll. It's a lot smoother scrolling. It's a lot nicer, because I was having trouble with my scrolling, and I felt like it was tedious on my viewers, me constantly having to scroll down and find stuff. And now it scrolls so smooth that at least that particular aspect of the tedium is beautiful. Just beautiful the way this scrolls now. So I'm very pleased with the way that works. Now, I could technically put this undock this area and put it on one of my other monitors, but then you wouldn't be able to see it, that I'm scrolling, and what objects, and see me scrolling. So I'm going to keep this here, but at least it's smoother now than it was. I could have mingled a little bit of smoke in here too, like, but I thought it might be a little too much. So yeah, this is Mesh Man. Thank you for the Angus. Welcome, and welcome to the mice in the hinterlands. Thank you for stopping in. I'm all done this object thing. I've been working on it about 5 hours. I've been here for 2 hours and 6 minutes, but I worked on it about 3 hours before I got up, before I decided and said, okay, I'm gonna go online and have I really wish that the just to mention that again, I wish the dForce companion would show all of the dForce objects instead of just ones with I guess metadata. I don't know. When you put dForce on something, it should show up in there. So that's kind of why I bought it, because it seemed as though that was what it was promising to do. So, but it doesn't. A lot of dForce things don't show up in there. All right. So that's that. And he doesn't have any shoes on, but I would have had to make them into mesh also. And I think he's good the way he is. So yeah, and if you check out, he's got really groovy eyes. His eyes are very magical. Very magical eyes. So yeah, it's very cool. Cool hair. I just got this hair yesterday. Everything at the Daz store is like 50% off. It's like a real sale. And then up top they gave me a 30% off code. And that enabled me. This hair is normally it's like $26, but it's usually on sale for $17. I got this hair for $6. And it's got all kinds of groovy colors that come with it, like variegated, where it's like brown here and then green on the top, or it's like red here and pink on the top. It got all kinds of different colors. And I ran this. I don't think it doesn't look like it kind of fell apart because it got, I think I ran it through dForce and it kind of lost its shape, but it's a lot cooler looking than that. It's really cool hair. Very, very good hair. The only problem that I found with it is you have to turn it off in order to pose your figures. It's a hog. This hair is, you can see every little fiber of hair in this. This is really nice hair. It looks so real. So, yeah, this is it. This is the scene. So again, thank you for coming in, Angus. Thank you very much. So this is our guy, and he's a spellcaster. So he can do magic. And so and he lives in this very strange place. And it's almost like he's Aladdin. He's on this kind of carpet thing that's also made of mesh. He's the mesh man. And so he's also has this kind of carpet thing this was a piece of land. They were rocks here. These were it was almost like a rocky area, almost like an altar area, where it had these 4 rock kind of areas, and then these were all rocky here. And I put this mesh texture on it and switched it from rocks into this. And so it's kind of like a magic carpet in a way. So it's pretty cool. So I think you can see that this needs a lot. It's not rendered here. It's all rendered really nicely in here. you can see this texture down here is really, really nice. Look at that. And it still has a little bit to go. Some little specks here and there. But this is going to render really nice. There's a few specks in here. But you can see that's really sharp. Really, really, really sharp. Few little specks in here. It's still got, it's only half done rendering. It's got another 500 to go. So, all right. That's going to do it for me. Thank you. Thank you, Angus. It's, don't worry, you have attended so many of my, things that it's just not, it's never a problem if you're late or because, you're, my, number one attendee. So it's never a problem, and I would never even allude to that, okay? So thank you for coming, and very much, and I'll talk with you soon. So this is going to do it. Please like, subscribe, click on the bell if you would like notifications of the next time that I go live. We are in 4K, and this is DAZTV. DAZTV. And so yes, thank you for watching, and please leave comments down below if you'd like me to discuss a certain part of Daz. If I know how to do it, I will I'll talk about it and possibly do a tutorial on it. Try to work it into a scene. So, all right. Thank you very much. Take care. And let's see. Sigmund wants to say hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. That was Sigmund. Yes, he likes to say hi. That was a little bit creepy, Sigmund. So, yeah, sort of. A little bit, just a little bit. All right. So have a good night, evening, morning, day, afternoon, and all the little sections of time in between. I'm working on a new song in another day. I have a premiere on the Flock of Angels channel, so be sure to check in on that. So, all right, take care. This is Rex Red saying so long for now, so long, farewell. All right, take care, and I will see you again soon.